Yep.
Welcome to the According to Sources podcast. I am your host, Andre Williams, and it's probably been about 3 weeks since the last time we did a podcast. I had some teeth removed, and that made it very difficult for me to do a lot of talking. Obviously, I had four teeth, three wisdom teeth removed, and another two, so didn't do a lot of podcasting or talking at that time. But now it's time to get back into it. I said I was your host, but not this podcast. It's Chris. Chris, you got it. Go.
All right, so there's been a lot of drama in the league this year. I feel like it's just the ratings are up and everybody wants to get even more attention. But in Cleveland, there's always seems to be something going on drama wise, and this year it's even worse than it is in the past years. With everything going on, LeBron called a meeting to address the team's dysfunction and their poor play and being last in almost every defensive ranking in the league. And K Love was the culprit as usual, the human pinata for the Cavs organization. Think about that.
It's always Kevin Love. Anytime anything goes wrong with the Cavaliers, it's time for everybody to shit on Kevin Love, right? But if I was Kevin Love, I mean, technically, we don't know what happened, right? Technically, we don't. But all of the information that's coming out is saying that Isaiah Thomas was questioning Kevin Love being sick in that game against OKC when they lost by what? What did they lose by, like 100 points? And something like that.
Something like it. Shit.
Something like that. Okay, so he was questioning him being out for that game. Isn't it ironic that the person that missed like the entire season is questioning a guy with a championship ring that missed one game and has actually been playing pretty well this season? I think it was funny. If I was Kevin Love, I would tell them all to kiss my ass after I asked for a trade out of that place immediately.
I don't think that there is any justice.
So what are we doing?
To
what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said I don't think there's any justice to the situation by LeBron not saying anything after the fact. If leaders come out after a situation like this and they're like, listen, you guys are blowing this out of proportion. This was reported by, as he called him before, a trash person, Frank Isola.
Which he is.
Which he is. He's a piece of shit. And LeBron has had a history of calling him a trash person. This would have been the perfect time to continue that rhetoric. Say, he don't know what he's talking about. Yes, we did have a player meeting, but it definitely didn't go down like that. Even if we all know that LeBron is bullshitting, you still got to go up and show, save face and say that. LeBron should have been a better leader. This season, he is really, really showing what type of leader he is, and it's not a good one. I'm a LeBron super fan.
You are a LeBron super fan. Me and you actually got, that's how we started talking. It was your LeBron super fanness, and me semi-hating, being honest. Honest about him. I was being honest about him. Dude, this is what LeBron does. But this is what, this is what he does, though, Devin. Come on. So are we going to say this is not what he does?
No, he doing it.
This is like, there is a pattern that is growing with LeBron James. Towards the end of every team that he's on, this is what happens. It happens every time. It's not like it's a mistake or something that every time the end is coming, it's a drama-filled shit show. And okay, they're gonna make it to the finals. Cool. They're gonna make it to the finals. Maybe. But they're still gonna get the shit kicked out of them, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And
it's gonna be ain't no maybe.
It's too early in the pod for this, man. Come on.
but it's a growing trend that when LeBron gets to this point, this is what happens. The team falls apart. It's a lot of infighting. You don't like a lot of uncertainty. It happens every single time. It happened the first time in Cleveland. It happened in Miami, and it's happening in Cleveland again. This is just what he does. He's like Godzilla. Yeah, he came in and he stopped the other monster from fucking up the city. But Godzilla, you still kind of fucked up the city.
Where
You know
where did you dig into your bag and find that analogy? Where?
what?
Office,
My brain.
the franchise he goes to.
I mean,
Out of any other things you said, that is what you came up with. You came up with Godzilla.
he is. He's like Godzilla. It's like, yeah, LeBron did some really good things there, but when he left, he fucked everything. Everything was all fucked up. We still got to clean this up. Like that's how it is with Godzilla.
Who gonna clean up all these flowers?
Who gonna clean up all this bullshit, all these broken ass buildings and all this shit? Godzilla, thanks a lot. Should just let the motherfucker kill everybody. But no, that's really how it is with LeBron. The same thing happening again. And if he was I don't want to say if he's a real leader because LeBron is a leader, but if he was a better leader, when Isaiah Thomas started calling out Kevin Love, the dude who contributed to you bringing a title to Cleveland, you should have been standing up for him. You should have been standing up for him. Who
Because
the
he's
fuck are you? He didn't even want Isaiah Thomas.
Sure didn't.
Didn't even want him.
I
So
mean, if you want a 5'8" point guard running your team,
I
I'm
don't
just
like.
trying to
I don't like
understand.
this, so
I'm just trying to understand what's the logic in that. Like, what was everybody thinking? If that actually did happen, where was JR's drunk ass? Now, a lot of Cavs fans know this. JR is a huge supporter of Kevin Love. If you watch the games closely, and I love watching players' reactions, players' relationships, and what you just can see on the outside. Kevin Love with JR, Iman, Tristan, they're always real tight, real, joking and laughing. I'm just trying to figure out, as reckless as we all know JR to be, even though he's kind of simmered down since he's been with LeBron, I'm just trying to figure out how we don't get no story like, yeah, J.R. Smith assaulted Isaiah Thomas.
I'm trying to figure out, like, were they all gonna band together in their hatred for Kevin Love? Is that what was gonna happen? Like, okay,
I don't
guys,
know.
now we're about to kick the season in overdrive based on our mutual dislike of Kevin Love.
It must have been because Christian ain't going to say nothing. He in the sunken place. JR is drunk. Derek high. He halfway out the door.
Yeah.
Jose Calderon, he just dared to get a check. Kyle Korver just dared to, he's showing up so he don't get fined. He was going to give you that white boy
you
hustle.
brought up Jose Calderon, and I saw this. Somebody put up a stat comparing him on the floor with Isaiah Thomas, and it was like every statistical category they were better with Jose Calderon on the court.
I heard that.
Him and Derrick Rose should be starting. Period.
I don't think Derrick has the mental. He's not mentally there enough to be a full-time starter.
I think that would increase his mentality and his eagerness to play, because when he was out there, I forgot the unit that they had, but crazy enough, Brown wasn't on the floor, and neither was Isaiah. It was Derrick, D Wade, Jeff Green, and some other nobodies, and that shit was working. They were
maybe all it would do is just like hasten the injury that we know is coming at some point. Oh, maybe that's all it would do.
Jesus, I really wish you wouldn't have said that.
Disrespect for a guy that averaged 26 and 12 just 3 years ago.
I mean, he's having a pretty good season this season too. So
Kevin must be a good Christian, because I'd have whooped his ass. And I'm telling you this as a 5'6" man, I dare no way in hell. Even if he's 2 inches taller than me, I'd be like, oh no, your little ass can't talk to me like that. They'd be like, Devin, he's taller than you. Yeah, but he ain't taller than the majority of the people in this room. We got to fight. I was here before you.
You throw hands, son. That's the main thing right there. I was here before you. I would have
whooped his ass.
You don't get to call me out.
Before you. I got seniority in this room. When they talk about whose name is on that championship banner, they talk about me and everybody else that was here. You ain't did shit. You ain't even get close to winning a championship.
I say you barely can fucking see the banner, you short midget. So I
don't know why you got this. I don't know why you got to be prejudiced against short people.
No, I'm just talking. You know what? I didn't like Isaiah Thomas last year. Like the whole thing that happened, or the year before that, the whole thing that happened with his sister. I thought it was an incredible thing of him to do. I'm like, man, cool.
Told him to do it, though.
Yeah, I understand. Nobody, but he did, and I thought it was an awesome thing. But I just think like his personality to me is just one of an asshole. And like a lot of reports came out After that, it's like last year, a lot of people inside of Boston didn't like playing with
They
him.
didn't like him.
But
He
They
was
didn't like being on the
they
floor
show
with
people
him.
are the most anger, you know.
a difficult dude to play with. So, and I can see it because he's a difficult dude to just watch. Like he's annoying to me. Like he's an annoying dude. So I definitely understand, the whole thing, and him coming in and doing that is something I can see him doing because it seems like he came in there and was like he's LeBron's like he's the second fiddle. It's
Yeah,
like Kevin
social
Love
media.
is demonstratively a better basketball player than
Clear
Isaiah
as
Thomas
day.
is.
Much better. And the second best player on that team.
I can't
Period.
wait when Kevin Love leaves that team and goes back to averaging 25 and 15 again.
I can't wait for Kevin Love to leave the Cavs and he tell the whole story and have receipts and everything to just spill the beans. Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would have been a lot better had LeBron stuck up for him or anybody stuck up for him. If that was the
Anybody.
case, if that was the case, it'd have been really cool if somebody would have stuck up for him. And like we are a band of brothers. We won the championship. When you win a championship with somebody, that's something that lasts forever.
In the
That
history
ain't
book.
never going nowhere. Yeah, that's history.
I saw a good quote this guy said on Twitter. He was like, when the buzzer went off and the Cavs came all the way back to beat the Warriors, the first person that was there to embrace LeBron was Kevin Love. He like ran right to LeBron.
Yep.
This dude, and this dude basically did a lot of LeBron's work at the end of that fourth quarter on defense. Every
Yeah,
time they picked up on somebody when
that's
they were
because they were
doing those
running the
pick and
pick
rolls
and
on Steph,
roll. Yeah,
they were trying to
yeah,
find the weakest link in Kevin Love, and Kevin held his own. Yeah,
yeah.
Steph got off on him a few times, but Kevin held his own, especially in the most important part
Yeah,
of the
the
game.
important part, the most important one. He didn't let him get past him, and he didn't give him an open three.
Yeah. And
And
he shot 840 from the free throw line that year. I mean that year in the playoffs. So that was huge.
like, I don't understand that. Now, as much as I like to throw shade at Kyrie's weird ass, I could not imagine him being in that locker room and not saying something. Especially because Kyrie, reading about him over the years, like when he was at Duke, when he was on the Cavs and they were trash with Anthony Bennett, he was always a verbal leader. Hey guys, come on, let's pick it up, let's keep going. I
I,
couldn't imagine Kyrie being in that situation, be like, hey fam, you got, go ahead and talk to him. We gonna get in Kevin ass tonight.
I
When we
think
get back there,
Kyrie
it's a wrap.
saw enough. He saw everything he needed to see last year. That's why he was begging to get the fuck up out. Like, all right, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. This is dysfunctional ass bullshit. Like, I think Kyrie is a little bit weird, but one thing I don't think he is full of shit. And
Yeah, I
sometimes
don't think so.
LeBron comes off where he just like, I think LeBron is a good guy off the court. I think he's an awesome person, all of that. But as like the dude on the court, I think sometimes he's full of shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like I can understand if Kyrie, like I just don't want to have to deal with this passive aggressive nonsense anymore,
yeah.
and the whole thing in a locker room and just like all of this bullshit. I don't want to have to deal with this anymore.
You
I
know what's
mean,
crazy you say that, Dre, because I always read that LeBron and Draymond are really good friends off the court. But
yeah,
Draymond is almost like a boxer in a sense. Like when he gets in between those lines, you get in and you get inside those ropes, you don't respect anybody
yeah,
except your teammates. And Draymond has notoriously been on the court with him, and he'll dog the shit out of him. And LeBron doesn't say anything.
yeah. He called him a bitch.
He calls
he
him a bitch,
called him a bitch. That was a
and you
thing
can
that
hear it on the
supposedly
game
got
audio.
LeBron upset, and that in that series, him calling him a bitch on the floor, and he got all upset
You know,
apparently.
he's lying.
I mean, I, I think we're going to see how true this story is if Kevin Love gets traded.
Yeah, you
I
think?
mean, we really are, because you're going to see a lot more information come out, because usually as it starts to filter out, the truth starts to come. Like, I mean, Frank Isola is a piece of shit, but
Let's
some of
never
these
forget that.
The racist.
people are going to start taking from his story and doing their investigative reporting and seeing what they can get. And if the contracts, I mean, I'm sorry, if negotiations start happening, and I mean, the moment Kevin Love gets to a different team, you're going to get the information that we all need, I guess. But the only way we're going to find out the truth is when that team disbands, and that's it. There's really no other way we could speculate off of anything else.
Yeah, no, and everything else is just that. It's just speculation. That's all it is. No need to do it.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
before K Love came to Minnesota, came to Cleveland, he was averaging 26 and 12 in Minnesota. He came to Cleveland, he was averaging 16 and 9. I mean, the man made the ultimate sacrifice for his own
That because
Sometimes I think that's because of the talent that was around him, though.
it's not even just about the overall talent. It's just LeBron. Like power forwards are where like LeBron is where power forwards go to die.
Yeah, they have to
Like
change their game
you
up to
got to
be
change your
passing power
game.
forwards.
Yeah, because he occupies the same spots on the floor as traditional power forwards would. Even if he doesn't want to play power forward, he still occupies those same, those same spots on the floor and takes those same shots on the floor. So, it's kind of difficult for them to be good. Like LeBron is posting up.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is at the pinch post. LeBron is at the mid range. Those is like generally where a power forward would be in the game, especially like with Chris Bosh before he started shooting threes. But
remember Chris Bosh used to
Yeah,
never shoot jump shots, and now he was their best 3-point shooter one year.
yeah, I still remember when I said that he was the reason why they were winning and he was their glue. And everybody like I was crazy, but him learning how to shoot 3-pointers was the turning point of that team. Otherwise, they'd have never won a championship, or they'd have to find somebody who could shoot threes from the power forward or center position. What was the next thing we were supposed to talk about? Was it how petty LeBron is picking Kyrie first?
Do you want to address the all the roundtable of players that everybody's trying to get to go to Cleveland by trade?
I mean, like who? Like George Hill? Okay, yeah, all right, cool. Who else is supposed to go there?
Eric Bledsoe, Paul George, Carmelo, God.
I don't know how much I believe that shit. That Eric Bledsoe, Paul George trade.
Like, I'm trying to figure out like how. I mean, okay, they're supposed to get all these players, but isn't that how it is with LeBron all the time? But like whatever team he's on, like they're supposed to get these people, or all of these buyout guys are supposed to just immediately go to Cleveland or Miami.
Mm.
Wasn't Joe Johnson supposed to go to Cleveland? Was that last year or the year before last?
I think it was last year.
He went to Utah. Like he went to a completely different team that nobody thought that he was going to go to.
And he was
Because
cold for them last year in the playoffs.
yeah, and he was because not everybody wants to go and play with LeBron James. Like I don't,
Dog City.
yeah, he was a killer in the playoffs. I think what we've gotten to the point with LeBron is he's no longer good enough to take talent like this and make them good. He's not like this isn't LeBron like Miami LeBron. Like, the last year he was in Miami, that team was garbage.
Terrible.
And he literally just took them and made them good on his own.
Mm-hmm. And his first year in Cleveland, in the
Yeah.
playoffs, not the regular season, because the regular season he was still trying to mesh with them. In the playoffs, that LeBron was doing heavy load. I mean, really carrying that team. Then Kyrie got hurt, but
Yeah.
it's neither here nor there.
See, he can't do those things. Like he can't do that anymore. And it's an imperceptible like shift in things with him. But he's not going to be able to make this team good over 82 games. Now, maybe in the playoffs, like a different gear that he's going to hit. But over an 82 game season, he's not going to be able to make these. I mean, look, he's been in the league for 15 years. Like I think we think about LeBron, it's like, oh man, LeBron is superhuman. Okay, cool. But at some point, even superheroes get old. And he's 15 years in the league. I understand his age is what it is, but it's still 15 years in the league. To expect for him to be able to still, do the same things, I think is just ridiculous. To make these teams good, I think is ridiculous. That team isn't going to be good. It would take old LeBron, and I don't mean like this old LeBron. It would take like a 5-year younger LeBron to be able to carry this team into some sort of relevancy in the regular season. What have they lost? Like 10 of their last 13 games?
Yep.
When is the last time that happened in LeBron James' team?
And not to mention, they lost against I obviously I still think that Popovich is the best coach in the league. Some of these Harambe kids think that Kerr is the best coach. I strongly beg to differ.
No, Pop is still the best coach in the game.
Pop is the best coach in the game, and he beat Cleveland last night with a bunch of Jeromes and Tito's. Okay, I like that boy, DeJounte Murray. He is cold.
Yeah.
LaMarcus is LaMarcus. He's an all-star. They had that white boy on the perimeter against LeBron, shutting him down. You know how much pride it takes for me to swallow to say some shit like that.
But like that's part of what I'm talking about, though.
Come on, dog.
5 years ago, he'd ate that dude ass up.
Dude up, man. And then he had him on the perimeter, and LeBron is up there dribbling, face up dribbling against him between his legs. Like, dude, that's not your game. What the hell is going on? Dre, that's to your point. That's his game now.
That's his game now.
Man, I put him in the spin cycle. Give me that ball in the post. Get this little nigga off of me.
He just doesn't do those things. You're right. That is definitely his game at this point in his career, and that's fine. Like, it's still like, look at the numbers he's putting up. But if you look up like over like the last 25 games or 20 games or whatever it is, them 3-point numbers are starting to slip. You know, shooting percentages are starting to slip. Points per game is going down, but that's what happens when you taking a bunch of fall away threes now, and it's not always going to the basket like it used to be. Like those threes that he hit in the beginning of the season, the ones, the fadeaways and the corners and all of this other shit that he was doing, like those things aren't falling anymore. They're not, because he's tired.
Mm-hmm.
And all of remember when it was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, he's like, this is the best I've ever felt in my life, in my career. I wonder if he still feels the same way now. And
I mean,
early on, it always feels good. Get a couple games.
What is even their record in the East right now? Are they behind the Raptors and the Celtics?
And they were like, what were they, like a game and a half out of being in the eighth spot?
Jeez Louise.
Something like that. It's like real bad. It's been bad for them. It's been a real bad
at this point, everybody's trying to find a scapegoat. Is it
Kevin Love?
Is it Kevin Love? See, but you remember last week when the streak started, it was Ty Lue. Then this week it's Kevin Love. No, man, it's everybody. It's a cumulative effort. You motherfuckers can't play defense, and it's not even a talent thing of playing defense. Because defense, 50% of defense is effort. They don't show any effort. You got Jay Crowder that's supposed to be this, this rough and tough, glue guy. He ain't about a damn quarter.
Jay Crowder is a shell of himself.
Oh, big time. Big time.
He can't guard anybody. He can't hit any shots. I mean, I don't want to spend the entire, because we're 22 minutes into the podcast, but I don't want to spend the entire time, talking about the Cavaliers. But man, they have some serious, serious issues, and I am not quite sure what it is they can do to fix those issues. I mean, I don't know if George Hill is the answer to whatever it is that's ailing them. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh.
Well, they got the whole All-Star break to figure it out. So when we come back next week, or I'm sorry, in 3 weeks, we can see where they're going.
I think we'll do a podcast again well before that. We
oh no, I know that, but I'm saying with the podcast at the week after the All-Star break, we're gonna reassess them and see where they at.
We're gonna have to, because it is not looking good for the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. But you want to know, it has been looking good for my Bulls.
I tell you what, I swear to God, if they don't get rid of Jesus,
Markkanen,
strike my tongue. If they don't get rid of Nico Mirotic soon, I'm gonna have to call in a threat to somebody. Somebody gonna have to get their tires flattened, because I can't take this anymore.
I mean, I know technically the Bulls aren't looking good, but I mean, they're making games competitive and still losing, which I love. I love that.
Love it. Get him on out of here.
Yeah, I would love for them to just go ahead and get Nico the hell up out of here. Get rid of Nico. Get rid of Robin Lopez. That'd be good too. Get rid of Jerry and Grant.
Oh,
What's the other dude's name? It was Holiday, Justin Holiday,
oh
or what is his
man,
name?
Justin Holiday don't know who the hell he is.
Get rid of him too. Get rid of all of them. Try to get like some draft picks or a draft pick. Do something. Get rid of everybody. Just keep the young guys, and I'm okay with that. Don't need anybody else on his team helping them win. I want these young guys to learn how to play. It's just messed up because Chris Dunn was playing so well, and then he damn near dies on the court. That was an
I don't.
ugly, ugly ball.
Yeah, that was a real ugly fall, man. I was pretty scared when I watched the replay. I was like, dang. I wonder will he be ready for the Rising Stars competition because they said that he was elected to the game.
Yeah, he was. I don't know because did you see the Bulls? Like after it happened, they showed the court, and his teeth were like embedded in the floor.
I didn't see that. Jesus.
Yeah, it was real. It was real bad for him. I think. I mean, we've talked about Cleveland. We talked about the Bulls a little bit. I guess what we could talk about. We could talk about this draft, this NBA All Star Game draft,
and how the pettiness of LeBron James continues.
I mean, I would love if Kyrie forced a trade from. He forced the trade to Steph's team. He was like, I can't do it. I don't want to play with this motherfucker.
Wouldn't it be
Even
hilarious
in
if, like,
an exhibition game.
the week of the All-Star game comes and Kyrie says, like, you know what? I feel like I got some fluid in my knee. I think I'm going to have to sit this one out.
Yeah, sit this shit out. I'm done. I can't do it.
But he does a skills competition.
Does a three-point shooting contest. Shootout. This motherfucker's in a dunk contest.
Like, ooh, my body is weary. I gotta take a break.
Was Kyrie in a dunk contest? I think Kyrie was in a dunk contest.
I can't do it. My body is weary. I'm drowsy, LeBron. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'd love to catch up with you, but I can't.
It's so petty though for him to pick him first, man. Like, dude, he did everything in his power to get away from you the first time. Why in the hell are you bothering this boy? Leave this boy alone. This passive aggressive nonsense.
LeBron probably gonna be like, when they interview him about why he drafted him, he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, man, I just wanted to, I wanted to see the kid again. I wanted to, be around
the kid. He gonna call him a kid about 1 million more times in one damn press conference. Call him 1 million kids because that's what he does.
Call that grown ass man a kid.
Grown ass man a kid. Kyrie got a thicker beard than you. Call him no damn kid. Well, he might not have a beard no more. I don't know, but I know there was a point where he did.
I think that they're going to destroy them. Honestly.
I think so too.
Close.
I don't think they allowed. I don't think they allowed Steph to draft KD. I think they told him he couldn't do it.
Well, did they say, like, did they televise it?
No, they didn't. But they said the first pick that LeBron chose was Kyrie Irving.
Oh my God.
Like, he was the first pick. So obviously, if you're, you Steph, you go and you pick KD. But I think he picked James Harden. So I think they told him he couldn't pick him. That was the only reason why he wouldn't pick KD. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would be the other reason why?
That is strange.
Man, like, we don't want you. Like, we see y'all play together for 82 games a season. Ain't nobody trying to watch the Golden State Warriors playing an All-Star game. You got to pick somebody else. Pick somebody else.
Well, who did they say Steph took first?
I think James Harden.
Ooh,
like, that would be the only thing I could think of would be James Harden. Because, you look at his team, unless it was like Giannis or somebody like that. Maybe it was Giannis.
Maybe it was Giannis.
But it clearly wasn't wasn't KD, so it doesn't really matter who the hell it was, right? It wasn't KD.
They should have televised this, man.
They should have got to.
They have to televise this and then do it like a playground style thing. Like, all right, I got him. All right, give me KD.
It said something like they didn't want people to see who got picked last or some shit like that. I don't know, some nonsense. like these millionaires are gonna get their feelings hurt. I don't give a damn about their feelings. Just show it. It's probably gonna be more entertaining than the actual game because we all know what they're gonna do in that game. Dunk, 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 3 points. Dunk, 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 3 points. No defense. Nobody gets back. Alley oop. Is the whole game. Game
It is
over. Everybody go
becoming
home.
kind of boring for me to watch. I mean, it's just like every year they play less and less defense.
Yeah. And
It's becoming like the Pro Bowl.
We grew up in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? 80s, actually. We grew up in the 80s. We watched a lot of 90s games. It's like there always came that point in the game where it got serious and guys started, taking it seriously. And it never gets to that point anymore.
I
Even
think
when
the
it gets
last
serious
game,
there.
the last game I saw where they did that was when Jordan's last year, when he hit that fadeaway to send the All-Star game to overtime.
Yeah, but now Kobe's last one. Kobe's last.
No,
Kobe's
that was
last
a good
one.
one. Yeah, Kobe's last
That
one.
was
They
a
did
good
play
one.
hard.
But that was because Kobe was like, man, like, what are we gonna play or not? And he started taking it seriously. Kobe's like, I don't know what the hell y'all are doing. Are we playing or not?
That was a game where he called LeBron out for not shooting it.
Yeah, he called him out for not shooting it. He had the little dunk where LeBron was trying to chase him down, and I think he blocked one of LeBron's.
It was on that run. It was on that play. I think it was a sequence. That's a highlight reel on 2K, by the way.
So yeah, actually, I think it is. It is. Yeah, but the All-Star game is like I used to be like, man, I got to watch the All-Star game, and now I'm like, if I watch it, I'll watch it. I want to see the 3-point contest. I want to watch the dunk contest and the skills competition. I'm more interested in those things than I am the game.
I'm trying to see Donovan Mitchell in a dunk contest.
That dude got hops, yo.
If it wasn't for that bastard Lauri Markkanen, would be the rookie of the year right now.
Yeah, he would. And if Ben Simmons tried to put his name back in the running, he triple dubbed the Bulls real quick in 22 minutes. He put up a triple.
Man, that ain't no. To hell with him. They ain't no highlight.
Man, I need for that dude to develop some sort of a jump shot. If he ever gets a jump shot, it is over.
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
I mean, just slightly above 50%. Not
if
even.
Giannis can start shooting threes with the way he was shooting, shit, so can he. So can he. And once he gets it, it is going to be a problem. Because that dude, the court vision, his rebounding ability, like his physicality on the court, all that is good. It's just his unwillingness to shoot in situations where he should be shooting the ball. That is his biggest problem.
It looks rough.
Have you seen Markelle Fultz?
It's painful to watch Markelle Fultz.
They just need to just put him on the goddamn on ice. Literally and figuratively. Put him on ice. It's over. He shouldn't play basketball at all this season. It looks painful when he shoots. And why do you want him to be in pain?
I mean, it like both of them, their jump shots, they just look like when I see stuff like that, I'd be like, what was going on in your training and development where they were like, listen, we're going to acknowledge the fact that this is not your strength. So we're going to keep on working on your strengths.
But Markelle can shoot. He can shoot. It's that shoulder injury, man. That shoulder injury got him out there bad, Joe. And
I remember I saw that video of him taking a free throw. It
looked like a Lego set. You know, Lego sets that move, like the motion ones. That's what his shoulder looked like. Like your shoulder should not move like that,
just looking rough. I don't think that the Sixers. I don't think they care too much.
Yeah, I mean they got Embiid, but I mean you don't want to waste the number one pick. You know what I'm saying? And a dude can't even play.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be like the third year in a row where they have a number one pick, or the third time in a row you get your number one pick, and he has to miss basically an entire season due to injury. And like you start to wonder, like, what the hell is going on with the training staff over there? Like, what are they doing?
They're turning into Portland. You remember Portland?
Everybody's getting hurt.
Everybody was fucking getting hurt. I take that back to turn into Green Bay. Brandon
Roy. It was your boy Greg
Greg Oden,
Oden.
that was my dude.
You'll see what happens with Fultz. I hope that he can, that they at least send him out. Like why do they keep having him shoot? Like just let the boy like leave him alone, let him chill out for a little bit, and then come back and see what happens. Don't have him out there
I
shooting.
mean,
Speaking of dudes out there shooting, you see Gordon Hayward? He's out there shooting baskets and
no,
dribbling around a little bit. Yeah, he was. I guess right now he's going. He's traveling with the team, and I saw he was on the court. He was doing some quick crossovers and shooting threes and mid ranges and stuff like that. He's not jumping
still,
yet.
I
He's
still,
not
yeah,
jumping.
I still don't see them letting him come back.
No, I wouldn't let him come back at all. But it's nice to see him out there doing that type of shit.
Yeah, that is pretty
After an
good.
injury. It's
Because I did not see that. That is really good to hear. Because I think a lot of us, because that happened the first game of the season, a lot of us forget that the Celtics have a team.
Yes, they do. I think they would have beaten Cleveland.
Well, they beat them already.
I'm talking about in the playoffs. Had he not gotten hurt.
Oh, if with this Cleveland team, they probably would have beat them 4-1. I say that, again, for all of our listeners, I am a LeBron super fan.
He is definitely a LeBron super fan.
I'm telling you right now, I love dude, like straight up. And I used to hate LeBron, with a passion. But I love me LeBron. LeBron right now can't win shit with that team. Can't do nothing. And Boston, if they had Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum playing like the dog that he is, and Kyrie Irving, you crazy. They would have embarrassed Cleveland.
I don't want to say it would have embarrassed them, but I do think.
Well, it would have been embarrassing in a sense
for him to lose
yeah.
to Kyrie going to the Celtics. And then you go to the playoffs and lose to him. Yeah, that would definitely be embarrassing.
my mama says, she said, I bet you LeBron was in his house pacing mad when they did that jersey presentation for Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving.
Man, get over it.
Like, I can't believe this shit. What's he up there doing?
Yeah, he gone, bro.
And I think LeBron checked out once they fired Griffin. He was just like, oh, fuck this. Because Griffin can say all he wants. LeBron is not running this team. No, you and LeBron was hand in hand.
Maybe. And that's we were actually talking about that earlier in the chat about maybe he has just too much power. Maybe he just needs to be a player, and all of this other stuff that they let him do and have him doing on that team, it may be too much. It's like, yeah, it's cool that you can get your friends like Tristan Thompson that they probably shouldn't have gotten, but now look at how it's hamstrung your team. Yeah. You got so much money wrapped up into a starting power forward and then a sixth-man power forward. It's just too much money wrapped up in power forwards. It's too much. And that's the problem. Now your salary cap is all messed up, and you can't get anybody to come there because you don't have any money. And then you go out there and it's a lot of bad things in Cleveland, man. There's a lot of bad things.
Speaking of bad things, and a lot of money, Vince McMahon said that XFL is back for 2020.
As my brother said, cool, even shittier football.
Is he drunk?
Man, it did not work the first time. Even less people are watching football now. And this is a worse product. This is going to be a worse product.
Is he drunk? And then they said that all the players are required to stand. I mean, what you really think you're going to get from that? I mean, and I put a large sum of money into the belief that guarantee you they're going to have a team in Boston. They're going to play at Gillette Stadium, and Vince McMahon, whatever that white guy's name is,
Robert
Kraft, Tom, Jerry, Kraft McMahon and Trump are going to be the threesome relationship that they've always wanted to be. The whole that got Donald Trump name written all over it. They ain't fooling nobody. It's gonna be a sham.
So the Donald
it's
told
go
him
right
to do
into
it?
the ground. Yeah, man. Donald told him to do it. He's like, we need an alternative. Donald was probably up there doing nothing.
We've already presented them with alternative facts. Not even alternative football league. Okay. And McMahon jumped all over it. All right. Wasn't his wife supposed to be part of
Yeah, she was supposed to be the secretary of some shit that Trump don't know what the hell it is.
So I was like, the secretary of some shit that she ain't had no goddamn business being the secretary of. That's what she's gonna be.
Up there not doing a damn thing but taking money from people. But
that's it.
How is that possibly going to work? And then they said they're going to have a strict criminal record, like background restrictions on players. Nigga, who you think you're going to allow in with no misdemeanors? What you think this is?
No damn body.
Everybody doing that. Everybody and their mama almost got marijuana cards now. Who you think?
Johnny Manziel was already talking about how he's going to be in it or whatever.
I can't stand
it. You can't be in it. They already said, like, doesn't he have like a criminal history?
Yeah.
Like, how the hell is he gonna be in it?
He had a tryout for the Washington Redskins. Couldn't make their training camp because he was in alcohol rehab and it conflicted with the schedule.
His alcohol rehab conflicted with him getting a job.
So what league does he think he gonna be a part of? But I bet you he'd be in it. I bet today, we'll waive it this time or set a precedent.
Just for you, Johnny.
Just for you, Johnny. Johnny Football. Been great quarterbacks for plenty of years. Black quarterbacks, he ain't called him football at the end of their name.
Nah,
whatever.
Boy, ain't gonna never be a Tyrone football. Are you out of your mind?
A Jameis football.
Yeah, Jameis football. Motherfucking Cam football. Are you crazy? You never be that shit. Ever.
Man, I guess Chris checked out on our black asses.
Yeah, he checked out. Those white people rolling their grave talking Tyrone football.
Tyrone football. Warren football? Is you crazy?
Motherfucking head exploded. What?
It's like that meme of Mr. Crab and the whole screen blurred out.
Ain't no goddamn Tyrone football.
Jermaine football.
Jermaine football. Yeah, the Draymond football. It's like the blackest names that you can find football.
Oh man, Jamarcus football.
He's just out here throwing them out there. Hail Marys.
Ain't no way in hell.
Nah. I guess we got a couple more minutes on this podcast before we get on up out of here. We could talk about these NFC, AFC championship games. Minnesota just beat the dog shit out of them dudes, man. They didn't Philly. Philly beat the shit out of Minnesota. Minnesota didn't deserve to be there.
That game ain't even worth talking about.
So that's all we have to say about that. So Tom Brady, Bill Belichick are going to their 8th Super Bowl. Tom Brady's going to be the only 40-year-old to start in the Super Bowl. I think I'm ready to say it, Devin.
Go ahead.
He's the greatest quarterback of all time.
No, he fucking isn't. You know why? You know why? Because no other GOATs. No other GOATs. Here, I'll list some GOATs for you right now. Muhammad Ali, the GOAT. Michael Jordan, the GOAT. Wayne Gretzky. A lot of people might say Babe Ruth is a GOAT. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player that ever walked on a field. Steroids are not.
Barry Bonds never wasn't a pitcher either. He said Babe could throw that motherfucker. He could pitch that.
That's because they didn't ask Barry to do that shit. They'd asked him, he'd have did it. Barry was great at everything. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, And before this fool came around, Joe Montana, and that's all I got for the GOATs. Because I don't
Yeah,
Joe
those are
Montana
the
is the
four.
greatest quarterback to ever play.
Okay, you know I'm a 49ers fan, and I'm never going to disagree with somebody saying the 49ers is the greatest anything. But 8 Super Bowls, man. He's going for a 5th MVP.
Out of
Five,
all them goats, Dre,
six
out of
rings,
all them
Devin.
goats,
6.
which you name one of them that was being accused of cheating? Name one of them.
Michael.
Yo, come on, man, come on, dog.
They accused him of cheating, yo. He said he was. Isn't that why he got suspended, he didn't retire and all that bullshit? Ain't that the thing?
Listen, that was betting on games that he wasn't in. Michael Jordan, probably the most competitive person
You
ever
start
been in
calling
history.
him. It's like Pete Jordan or Michael Rose.
Mike Mike ain't betting on himself losing. That's a bunch of bullshit. Some other niggas maybe they ain't cheating and not cheating. And I mean, every other year it's a story about them cheating. Deflategate, the Rams Super Bowl, the oh damn, the oh shit, I forgot
Filming
the
the
other.
practices.
The filming the practices.
Like
They are
the
known cheaters,
cheating.
and I'm
Yeah,
sick of their shit. Every game, it's just like Baylor said on our show a few weeks ago. He said the Patriots gonna play the Jaguars. Jaguars got the number one defense, but they ain't gonna have the number one defense that
they
night.
did. They had the number one defense for the first 24 minutes of the game.
A bunch of
Maybe
horse
22.
shit.
Then they didn't.
You got
All of a sudden, they just didn't. I
you
think
got my
some
homie
bad calls.
he stripped the ball from the quarterback, got up, and it was about to take it to the crib with 10
Yeah,
minutes left in the fourth quarter.
and they blew the damn
They'd have
whistle.
been up by 2 touchdowns, and they blew the whistle, called it an accident, and said fuck it, because they knew Blake Bortles ain't gonna bring that ball up the field.
Nah, he isn't. He really, really isn't because that should have been a touchdown. Nobody touched him. He had free reign down the sideline, and that would have been a touchdown.
I'm sick of their shit. Every game, something always go their way. I'm sick of it. Last year, that's different. Atlanta was drunk. They was already turned up off the lean in the third quarter. Thinking
I
they was
said
going.
somebody's family was duct tape in the basement. They told them to start running that ball.
Dan Quinn coming to
shit.
the locker room. Yeah, we got all them niggas in the basement right now. You gonna run that ball to Devontae until we tell you to stop. I'm sorry. I cannot bring it. I cannot bring myself in my right mind to call Tom Brady the GOAT,
Devin,
and I can't bring myself to call
he's going
Bill
for
Belichick
5 Super Bowl MVPs, yo.
Nigga, I don't care. I can't
6
do it.
rings. He's going for his 6th ring.
I don't give
He's
a
gonna
shit about
have
all
more.
that.
He's gonna have Jordan rings on his fingers. Like it's hard to say he isn't.
I don't care about that. I don't care about none of that.
Hey, I'm not. Hey. I'm just giving you the numbers. But I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just throwing them out for you.
And if anything, Bill Belichick's cheating ass defense has supported his ass for the longest time. You know, I'm trying to separate myself from the numbers, Devin, that I used to be. I try to look at things as a whole now, not just the stats. But it's hard for me to not recognize that out of all the Super Bowl MVP quarterbacks, this man, Tom Brady, ain't even in the top 20 for passer ratings for quarterbacks. That defense and those running backs support his ass. Okay? Given he's always had receivers that have good hands. Edelman, Amendola, Randy Moss, even though Randy Moss got, he didn't get a ring. He was close.
Yeah, he was close.
What's the guy's name? What's that white boy's name that played for the Patriots? A bunch of them.
Yeah, all they got is little short white receivers.
Wes Welker almost pulled one off with them. I can't do it. I can't find myself to give them anything. And all them goes, none of them took losses.
I think Muhammad Ali took a couple losses.
Nigga, that's boxing. That's the Floyd era. That's different. He ain't lose no back to back to no same motherfucker.
You're right, especially not a goofy one. Okay, so all right, let's move on because we're about to start wrapping this up. Devin, what are you mad about? What you mad?
I'm mad. I'm pissed. I'm mad because I'm sick of Boston. I'm sick of Boston sports. I'm sick of the people in Boston.
I mean, he is so upset that he muted himself. I don't know why he muted himself, but he did. So I'll say what I'm mad about. I'm still mad about the whole. Okay, are you still there, Devin? You muted yourself. You were that pissed off that you muted yourself.
Yeah, I'm highly upset. Boston are not objective
Devin
fans.
had to bring the video out for this.
They're
Okay.
not objective fans. These idiots will swear up and down that everything in their games gets called to both ways. The Jacksonville game, everybody and their mama, people that don't even like to comment and say anything related to refs handling a game the wrong way. You had professional journalists been doing this shit for years saying in the most uncomfortable way that did not look right.
It wasn't. I mean,
That didn't look good. And this happens all the time. It happens with the Celtics. It happened with the Boston Bruins. They tried to get the Bruins the Stanley Cup when they played Chicago. That shit didn't work out because we
yeah,
were just more
Blackhawks
talented
wasn't
than
going.
them.
Yeah, Black Sox.
And then every year it's the Patriots and they bullshit. I'm sick of it. Fuck Boston. Fuck the state of Massachusetts. I hope they bomb the border of that bitch and let that shit float out into the Atlantic Ocean and get far enough so we don't have to put their teams in any of our professional leagues. I'm sick of this shit.
Okay. Let me close this up, man. I'm still mad about the Isaiah. Oh my God, I'm still mad about the Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Love, Cleveland Cavaliers thing. I'm a Kevin Love fan. I think that dude is a professional. He's dealt a whole bunch of shit since he's been in Cleveland. Everything that goes wrong with that team is his fault. He gets blamed for a lot of things for not being good at this, not being good at that. He's been a total professional. He could have been blew up. But I think, like I said before, when you win a championship with a dude, I think when a new guy comes in and kind of tries to test him and question him, that the guys that won a championship with him should kind of stand up for him. And I think it was bullshit that they didn't. Uh, and like I was, I've softened my stance on LeBron over the years, but I was kind of disappointed in him. Even if he wanted him traded, if somebody comes for a guy that you win a championship for, who is such a crucial part of the reason why you won your championship, I think you should stand up for him, and that's what I'm mad about. That's what's got me hot. This has been the According to Sources podcast. I'm glad you guys were able to join us today. Chris dropped out early, man. We thought he was going to stay up in here. Said his Wi-Fi was going out, but you guys know where to find us. It's according to sources at gmail.com if you have questions. A2 Sources on Twitter, according to sources on Facebook. Boston, you can send all your hate mail to Mr. Yellow, and I'm sure you got a whole bunch of it because he just shit on your whole fucking
Fuck them.
the whole border. The whole goddamn borders should be blown off of the coast and allowed to drift into the Atlantic. This is what he just said.
Tom Brady and all
Tom
his
Patrick.
shit.
What is it? Tom Patrick Brady? Is that his name?
Tom Cheaton Brady. That's his name.
Fuck. He said the entirety of the city. He didn't even say
Bill Belichick don't like black people. I'm going Kanye on that ass.
Kanye.
How
So
about
wait,
that?
can the rest of the state stay, or do you just like?
Listen, anybody associated with the city of Boston, their stupid ass design streets, and anything that got to do with the New England Patriots. If you like them, you are not a friend of mine, and I have no intention of listening to shit that you got to say. They're cheaters. Their whole organization is filled with cheaters. Bill Belichick a cheater. Kraft is a pervert. I know he got pictures of little girls. I know the story going to come out soon, and Tom Brady's an idiot. He is not the GOAT. Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback that ever played.
This has been the According to Sources podcast. I'm your host, Andre Williams, and that is Devin. I'm glad you guys joined us. We out. Peace.
Peace. Fuck Boston.